Alright, here we go again. It is another day after work, and my mind is empty again. I didn't eat lunch today, and I'm quite hungry. And I'm afraid that my normal lunch, or my normal dinner, might not be enough. And in the event that it is not, what do I do? Tomorrow is payday, and I've been waiting an entire long and exhausting month for this day to come. And now that it is finally here, I can spend money again. And that feels good. Obviously, I need to spend responsibly, but I want to buy a bunch of food, and I feel like that is perhaps when I realize that I have become a full-fledged adult, because I get excited about being able to make meals. And when things like that become exciting, then that, I think, is the sign. Like, you are an adult now. You get excited about food. And it seems silly to get all caught up about that, but it is interesting to me. I want to make a brisket. I feel like I've talked about it already, but I had a momentary lapse in judgment in terms of film, and or not film, but TV, and I've been watching Young Sheldon, and I can openly recognize how not great it is, but I can also appreciate the fact that it's just something to put on while I'm doing something else and paying attention to other things. It's enjoyable enough that I can put it on while doing other things and not be bored, and pay attention to it enough to care about it, but it's silly enough that I can put it on and not pay attention to it. So, but at any rate, there's an episode on there where they're talking about this magical brisket recipe, and whoever was in charge of preparing the brisket that this person prepared on this show made a brisket that looked incredibly incredible. And so now I've been wanting to make a brisket for quite some time. I unfortunately do not have a smoker, so I will not be smoking my brisket, but I could at least bake it. And I'm calling it an oven roasted brisket, and I think that'll be pretty tasty. So I want to do that with some sort of hearty potato-based meal or side, and really hit it home with the meal that I create with this brisket. I also am having some friends over on Sunday, and we'll be eating this famous soup that I make, and so I will be making that as well. I usually only make it in the fall months, and so it's very unseasonal for me to have soup this time of year because it's very hot. It's hot this year, and I'm gonna make a hot soup. It just, right now, it legitimately does not sound appetizing to me at all, but it's for my buddy who's leaving, and he has made the request. He's not the only person who's been impressed by this soup either, and so might be onto something with my soup recipe. But yeah, really looking forward to doing something there. But between both those meals, I should have a good hefty amount of food in my fridge, and then there's the general food that I will make and maintain and keep and eat on for a while. And I have come to enjoy the feeling of going grocery shopping and filling my fridge or my pantry and fridge up with food. Like, that feels good to be like, I have just stocked up on food for the week. And so I'm very, very excited and thankful for that. And so that'll be a nice thing when I do get paid and I do get to the store. I probably will go Wednesday, because why not? I'll have to figure out what I'm gonna eat, as I'll probably eat out. There's stuff around that I could probably have, but there's nothing, like, in terms of the grocery store I go to anymore, there's nothing immediately by it that I can go and get food from. And so we'll see how I feel tomorrow. Maybe something will spark my interest and be like, ooh, you should go there. But right now I'm just kind of like, whatever happens, happens. I don't care. But I do think that it is important for us to be able to acknowledge these things and to be thankful about these things. And I am very thankful and happy for where I am, and the fact that I get the ability to fill up my fridge and pantry and be proud of it. And so that's a good feeling, and it makes me feel good every payday when I go and do it. And I'm just anxious for tomorrow to happen for that very reason. But I don't want to wish away today. Like, it's very easy to get caught up in the hoping for something else, that you wind up hoping away a good portion of your life, because you're just always wanting for something else to happen. And so hopefully I can get to a point in life where I am satisfied with where I am, and I'm no longer hoping and wishing away for something else to come. And if I find myself doing it, hopefully I can call myself out and be like, hey, why are you wishing away your life? Like, learn to appreciate where you are. And I always go back on that cliched advice of living in the moment. I feel like it is very cliched, darn near impossible to do, unless you have like a limitless supply of money at your disposal. Because if I were living in the moment, living like today was my last, I would not be doing 90% of the things that I'm doing now. And I think the other ironic part of it is the people who tend to give that advice tend to be like wealthy, well-off, well-to-do people. And it's just like, no. You have the ability to give that advice because of the position that you're in. I cannot follow that advice because of the position I am. I am merely buying your music and being inspired by it. I'm not making my own and inspiring other people. There is a difference. And I feel like I have had a shift in mindset. I've just yet to strike the kind of success that I hope to strike. But, like, I'm pretty well done with being a consumer. I don't like consuming. Music is the main media that I choose to consume anymore. And for years, it's been the only media, really, that I consume. But outside of music, like, what am I consuming? And I don't buy very many video games anymore. I've never bought very many TV movies or TV shows. And so, and now I get to the point where when I'm consuming other people's material, I really just want to be able to make my own. And like 9 times out of 10, that is what consumption feels like to me, is inspiration to create. And I do wish that I can get to a place where that's not so exactly the case, if you will. I wish that I could get to a place where I could be the creative entity that I want to be. But all of these things take time, and it's a hard thing to realize when we're doing what we're doing, when we're going where we're going, where exactly is that? And what exactly are we trying to achieve? And like I said, just it's cool that I've made the mindset, and I can almost remember the exact moment where the mindset kind of clicked for me. I was like, you know what, I'm done consuming. And like, consuming became unsatisfying and boring for me, and that was huge. When consuming reached that unsatisfying and boring part of my life, I very quickly realized, like, okay, what's next? I need to work on creating things. And this person in this red truck, oh boy, what's going on up here? Are we about to hit some traffic? Ugh, I wish I would have realized that sooner, because I would have gone onto the highway. The other highway, not this highway. Damn, I said a bad word. Interesting. Well, I could, if I wanted to, turn around, wrap around that way. It looks like eventually we're going to have to merge to the left. Is it too late for me to turn around? Well, I'm going to be that guy who tries to find his way later on down the road, and they're going to hate me for it. But I'm going to get right in front of this truck here. And they say, like, you're supposed to zipper merge anyway. They say you're not supposed to just sit and wait in the closed lane for something to open up. So it's wild to me that they would... well, it's not wild to me. I get it. People are like, oh, you're cutting. I'm not going to let you over. And I don't like to be that guy. Like, we'll take our turns. We'll get in the lane. But, like, for traffic to be backed up for miles on miles just because people are looking for a way to get in seems a bit extreme. And, like, this person was the person right behind me. And they were holding up traffic for how long? And now here we are, stuck, trying to do what we got to do to keep the day going. I really wish I would have noticed that and taken the other road. I didn't realize people were coming to a complete stop. I thought people were... there was the truck to the left of me that was driving incredibly weird. They were in the passing lane, and they were driving slower than I was in the cruising lane, I guess, if that's what you call it. And then they got over, and... or no, they didn't get over. That person got really close to my rear end on that one. I passed them, and then I eventually slowed down to be a couple miles per hour under the speed limit, and they caught up to me because they were going ridiculously fast all of a sudden. And then they got ahead of me. It's like they got ahead of me and then just purposely slowed down. I was like, what is this person doing? And then they, like, braked. This mic is, I feel like it's sagging or something. I feel like it's not comfortably clipped to my shirt as it should. But anyway, and then they slowed down, and then so I was paying more attention to this truck than I was to the traffic ahead of me. And then I realized traffic ahead of me was stopped, and at that point in time I could have probably moved over to the other side of the highway and tried to merge, but I didn't. This person, I think it's just a cop has someone pulled over. And if that is the case, then this highway is way too backed up for that. And someone just gets pulled over on the street, and you're like, okay, I gotta move over to keep the cops safe, but, like, you know, break the entire universe doing so. That doesn't seem worth it. Hopefully I get up here and it's more than just someone pulled over. I really think it's just literally someone pulled over. Wow. Is that what's going on here? It's not an accident. Nothing serious. Wow, what a waste of my time. You backed up an entire highway because this guy's pulled over? Like, if I were... Yeah, there was a car, an SUV back there that was like, why are we doing this? If I had known that, I would have just driven in this lane the whole time. That's annoying. Person who's hauling giant tractors is going super duper fast. Congratulations to you, man. Hauling giant tractors, that's safe. But yeah, excited to go to work one more day, finally get that paycheck, and buy me some food. And I cannot wait to do that. It's going to be an exciting time, and I am going to enjoy every minute of it. And that's really all I've got to say about that. I wish that today was tomorrow, but not so much that I'm wishing my time away. I am excited for tomorrow. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Instead of saying I wish that today was tomorrow, I was like, I am prepared and ready for tomorrow. I am excited for what the day brings, and just go from there. And hopefully, I can then find some happy medium, I guess. Yesterday was pretty productive. I'm hoping today will also be productive. I met with a bunch of people who want to start these groups dedicated to growing on YouTube, which is all fine and dandy, except I don't know realistically how much I care about that. Or not that I don't care about growing on YouTube. These groups don't always tend to be good groups for me to be in. Not that they're toxic. Well, one of them was quite toxic. But it's just that they are not oftentimes as successful, as dedicated, as determined, as willing to make something work as I would like for them to be. I was a member of the local Writers Guild here for 2-3 years or so, and the meetings were just pointless, absolutely pointless. You spent a good chunk of time meeting about stuff that meant nothing, and then you met people who, it was largely just a retirement community, and they all wanted to have friends again, and so they got together and started a writers guild and just basically hung out for several hours together. And very few of them, if any, were actually really wanting to better their writing. And I met 1 or 2 people from that exchange that stuck around, and then I finally said I'm done with it. I'm not doing this anymore. And with that being considered, I've always kind of gravitated to the communal success, the idea that we succeed better as a community than we do as individuals. And I've pursued that community in multiple different ways, shapes, and forms, none of which have been very fruitful or successful or at all worth my time. But I think it is still good to reach out and to try. And I connected with somebody on, what was the platform, on Reddit last night. And he wound up buying one of my books, just like that. And I was like, wow, that was cool. And so, and that's my thing, is I want it to be like, I'm more into making a genuine human connection than I am trying to sell you something. And it's cool and all that this person bought the book. I super happy for that. But like that, I also want them to understand, like, that's not the only reason why I'm here. I'm not here to just sell you something. And I have a buddy of mine, bless his heart, I think the world of him, but he is very much so sale driven, and he'll constantly put out his products and just be like, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. And I was like, dude, like, most of the world has the entire world barking at them to buy things. And you've got to give them a reason to want to buy your thing more than just the fact that you made it. Like, he relies pretty heavily on quality. It's like, this is such a great thing that I've made, and because it's so great, you should want to buy it. And I was like, that's not usually how it works. There is millions of people out in this world, millions of sources to which they could buy this thing. You've got to find a way to make yours more appealing than somebody else's. You have to make them want to support you instead of supporting somebody else. And I just realized that I forgot my music player at work. Someone even reminded me to go and get it. Alright, well, what I'll probably do is I'll probably have to go back out for it.